Strategic Predictive Analysis, the Pi Effect, why global markets are entering a structural reset, how Pi Network is triggering the collapse of the legacy economic system, and why elite capital is quietly moving. The invisible trigger behind the global market turbulence, how Pi became the silent catalyst of a new financial OS. Why tech-savvy elites moved first while markets slept, the beginning of a post-legacy economy. This article includes predictive and technical analysis and may differ from actual outcomes. Introduction: Market chaos never happens by accident. Since early 2025, global markets have entered a period of synchronized turbulence. Stock markets falling, cryptocurrencies collapsing, liquidity being pulled back, and political scandals such as the Epstein list dominating the headlines. To the average observer, these events appear disconnected. To mainstream analysts, the explanations remain shallow. It's because of political uncertainty. It's the AI bubble correction. It's the Epstein scandal shock. But these explanations only describe the surface vibrations. The true cause lies beneath the financial crust. A new global financial operating system Pi Network has appeared, and the few who understand technology have already noticed. Why tech-savvy elites detected Pi's impact first. Throughout modern financial history, system-level transitions have always been detected first by a small class of individuals. Technology elites who can read underlying architecture. Financial elites who can see liquidity flows change. Policy elites who detect shifts in international standards. Pi Network's emergence presents a pattern identical to previous economic inflection points, such as the birth of the internet, smartphones, and AI. But Pi is not another cryptocurrency. It is structurally something entirely different, a global KYC-based real identity network, natively compatible with ISO20022, the world's financial messaging standard. A fully decentralized utility economy via Pi App Studio, a mobile node global settlement layer. GCV acting as a new international settlement reference value. In short, Pi is not a coin, Pi is a financial OS. This is why the technologically literate elites recognized its implications immediately long before the masses could understand what was happening. The strange behavior of elite capital, a signal of system replacement. Since late 2024 and early 2025, large capital has begun acting irrationally in the eyes of ordinary investors. But to those who understand systemic change, this behavior is extremely rational. Major institutions have quietly reduced exposure to Bitcoin and Ethereum, aggressively exited high-risk equities, rebalanced portfolios to prepare for structural disruption, accelerated development of new digital ID, wallet, and settlement frameworks. At the same time, big tech has rushed to strengthen payment, ID, and KYC systems. Global banks have completed ISO20022 migration in near unison. Governments are exposing old scandals to control narratives during transition. Payment networks and exchanges are tightening their internal compliance. This is not random volatility. This is elite capital retreating from a collapsing OS and preparing for the next one. Why Pi is the root cause of the coming system reset? Pi is structurally designed to replace the legacy digital economy. Unlike traditional cryptocurrencies, Pi solves fundamental limitations. Anonymity-based gives real identity-based. Speculation-based gives utility-based. Fragmented networks gives global financial standard integration. Slow, high fee gives mobile native, near zero fee. Opposition to regulation gives built for web for compliance. A network with these characteristics inevitably absorbs payments, banking, securities, remittances, digital identity, taxation, real-world commerce, supply chain systems. This is why elite capital recognized Pi is not competing with Bitcoin. It is replacing the financial substrate itself. Once elites see the possibility of a new financial OS, they begin reallocating capital, triggering the market instability we observe today. The true trigger behind current market volatility. The Epstein List scandal is simply a convenient distraction. It is noise in the system, not the source of systemic stress. The real cause is the structural shift initiated by P's global emergence. The world is beginning to transition from legacy liquidity-based economy gives Pi utility-based economy. Key driving forces include the rise of Pi as a global settlement layer, the collapse of fee-based legacy payment architectures, the global standardization of ISO20022 aligning with Pi's messaging format, the explosive expansion of the Pi App Studio utility economy, GCV emerging as a de facto international settlement constant, pressure on nation-states to reform tax, immigration, and financial regulations, the breakdown of speculative cryptocurrency models. These changes do not create temporary market corrections. They create epic-level transformations. 2025 to 2028. How global economics will be reorganized. The next 3 to 5 years represent a civilizational transition from legacy finance to Web for real identity decentralized finance built on Pi. 2025 marks the shock and adjustment period. 2026 to 2027 will bring massive restructuring across banking, payments, exchanges, and fintech. 2028 onward, Pi becomes the global settlement and utility backbone. Legacy financial institutions will consolidate or collapse, while Pi-centric smart cities, DAO economies, community banks, and real-world tokenization ecosystems will expand. This is not a crypto cycle. This is the restructuring of economic architecture. Conclusion: the elites are already moving. Most investors remain distracted by political scandals or crypto noise. But the global elite tech, financial, and political has already sensed the true shift. They are not reacting to Epstein. They are reacting to Pi because they understand. A new financial OS has entered the world. The markets are not crashing, they are recalibrating. Pi is the beginning of the post-legacy economy. To understand current global turbulence, one must understand Pi. Without Pi, nothing makes sense. With Pi, everything fits perfectly into place.